So wait, you got to hold it that way for a sec.
Okay.
And see, because then the tail, it's something like that.
Thank you. It's the best accessory a girl needs.
Exactly.
We are on location today at KNB FX. I feel like today is going to be the best day of my life right now, and I'm well protected. We're going to go talk to Greg Nicotero, and I will try to control myself. Thank you so much for taking the time, Greg.
It's my pleasure.
I know you're bonkers crazy. What was the most exciting part of Predators for you?
Well, it's a big monster movie, which, again, you know, anybody who does what we do, you know, we're celebrating our 25th anniversary this year, so it's a very, very exciting time here at KNB. I just like that people celebrate the art form that is special effects makeup, sculpting, mold making, painting, designing. You know, just this piece alone, dental acrylic teeth, all the armor, every single piece of this creature was manufactured from scratch. So all the little spines, even the little jewelry on the dreadlocks. So it took, you know, a team of 70 people a couple months to build all this stuff. There are so many different facets to what we do. Like we were talking about Predators and that sort of character creature design, that's from scratch. You know, you kind of start from the bottom up.
You've got someone's head that you need to work with.
And that's one of the toughest parts is taking someone like Anthony Hopkins' face and then translating Alfred Hitchcock's face over top of it. So sometimes it's how much of the jowls we see, the earlobes, the tip of the nose. So, you know, with this particular character, it's a whole different world. Like old age makeups and character makeups and things like that are very different from other projects that we do. I work on a TV show called The Walking Dead. Lots of zombies.
Most popular show ever in history.
It's pretty insane. So one of our characters, Irony Singleton, met with an unfortunate demise. So he got bit and his throat was torn out by a walker. So what we wanted to do for the show was break it up a little bit and use a dummy head. So we had the person in zombie makeup that came in and bit and pulled a big giant chunk of meat out. So this was actually built as a hand puppet. So he's going, ah, and then, yeah, and he screams, and then the zombie pulls a big chunk of meat out, and then blood sprays all over here, and he goes, ugh. This was one of the bodies that I think had rotted for like 6 or 8 weeks. So we did 4 different stages. So of course, since it's a cool looking rotted head, guess what it doubles for? Say zombie.
A zombie!
Oh my God, how did you know? That's so great.
It just makes sense.
It just came to you?
Right now, like a brain fart, just bam.
So weird, especially when I whispered it to you. So anyway, so this is a clay head. So, you know, we have 6 sculptors that come and recreate all the anatomy. And we use real skulls and things that we can utilize to get the bone structure to look correct. Tip of the nose, the way the teeth are, the lower jaw, all that kind of stuff. Or we can go a little more stylized, like this guy, which is a little more stylized Walking Dead walker. So you can see bone structure is exaggerated, the way the jaw is, like the ears are kind of small. You can always tell the fresh walkers versus the not so fresh, because the not so fresh will probably look a little more like this.
The veterans.
The vets. Oh, I like that.
I wanted to ask you a question about Sin City with regard to, was the white blood actually blood?
You know what's interesting is that the white blood is actually milk. All the blood elements, because water performs one way when you shoot it like through an air cannon or out of a syringe, it turns into little beads, whereas milk has a little bit of viscosity to it. So on a lot of movies where they use digital blood, we'll put a black background up and we'll shoot white milk in front of it. And then they'll key off the background. And then so when a zombie gets its head blown off, or in Sin City where someone gets their neck cut or something, they'll put the element of the spurting blood. It goes just like that. I love that you watch my fingers when they.
Tell me more about spurting blood. It's kind of my thing.
Well, that whole sequence
Was pretty
in Death Proof
crazy.
where all the girls get totaled and that girl gets her face like ripped off by the tire and they don't hide anything.
No, we had nothing. As a matter of fact, if you really think about that, the shot where the wheel hits her in the chin and her head goes backwards.
Yeah.
If the car's going forward, the wheel would be spinning this way. It would have taken her head down. And we're like, yeah, but we wanted the head to go back and to have it rip the face upward.
Yeah.
And the face up. So nobody ever noticed that, but we changed the direction of the wheel for dramatic.
No one would ever know.
But we built all these amazing rigs and made 9 bodies of each girl. And then we went and we tested each one of them. And that one shot of the leg bouncing, we had a camera car and Quentin literally was holding the leg. He's like, I know exactly how I want it to bounce.
Let me throw
So the
the
car's
leg.
going and he just went, boom, and it went, boing, 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 boing.
This is dead zombie heads. Don't creep me out,
But holding the baby.
Holding a baby.
Look,
really
oh, but it's asleep.
Oh.
Nice.
Oh, but I'm so innocent. You wouldn't eat me.
Yeah, what-
My baby voice is a Cockney accent. I don't know how
Evidently.
that happened.
Evidently.
Yeah. Inglorious Bastards. I think I read somewhere the scene where Christoph Waltz gets his swastika cut into his head. Was that you actually holding the knife
That
and
was
not Brad
one-
Pitt? Or?
It was not Brad Pitt. The idea was once the blade sliced into it, it had to bleed all at the same time.
Yeah.
It didn't. I didn't want it to look like a tube where all of a sudden it was
It
shooting
like-
out of
it was-
one section.
It was oozing out because the cut was just really deliberate. It wasn't
Yeah.
like a slash.
But for us to do that, we had to create a channel so that underneath the prosthetic, the channel filled with blood first. So when he cut into it, it would spill out evenly.
Yeah.
It's very weird. These conversations that I have with people when I'm sitting at lunch going, hey, so for this old lady, like when she's dead, do they throw her body in the trunk? Do they cut her head off? What do you want to do? Meanwhile, then you cut to the people at the table next to you going, So I don't know what it was when I was 12 years old and Jaws came out. It just it kind of blew me away. The fun irony of all of it is now Joe Alves, who's the production designer on that movie, did Escape from New York. He lives 15 minutes away, and we've gone to lunch and hung out and talked about the movie. And like I'll be sitting there going, "But you did Jaws. Like you were the guy who built all the sharks." So I just like now that I have an opportunity, especially with Walking Dead, to have people that were the age that I was inspired, and have those people come up to me and go, "Oh my God!" I get letters from dads who have 10-year-old, 12-year-old sons who will draw zombie pictures for me and send them. So I love that. I mean, I actually
Or
put them.
32-year-old chicks, that
Well,
this is like the highlight of my life right now.
well,
I'm
like I was.
super stoked.
So it really is exciting for me to be able to sort of repay back that inspiration, because that really got me where I am today. Okay, so what do you have to show me? I'm very excited.
I'm very into zombies, and every year I go in the Toronto Zombie Walk. So this is when I was a bride.
Wow. Dude, you look mad.
I had a whole character in mind.
Okay.
So this is me and my boyfriend at the time. We fell in love when we met as zombies. And then that was me
Ooh.
2 years ago. I got dead fingers and I found a fur coat. And then this was me last year.
Oh my God,
I decided
that's the
to go
best.
a little bit of a ham. I was snow red.
You have to send me that.
Yeah, I will.
Yeah.
I will.
I put that in my office in Georgia, and people will be like, who is that? And I'll have a great story. Well,
Thank you so much, Greg.
thanks so much
This
for
was,
coming.
like, the best day ever. Really appreciate, and Craft Truck appreciates it too.